Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to the podcast brought to you by the ANOUVUE Collective, where we're going to talk about everything film related, from script to screen and anything else in between. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the ANOUVUE podcast today, and we are on with Mark Leckie, myself, Dennis Fife, and our guest today. I'm so excited to be talking with him, and we are so excited to be talking to him. He's a very good friend of mine, and he's an actor and writer, sometime producer, and his name is Tarik Alexander. Tarik, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's fun, being interviewed, and also scary being interviewed by my friends. But
I mean, nothing to be scared of. We're just having a conversation so that the people can get to know you. You know what I mean? You have done so much in the past couple of years that you've been back in Jamaica, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But I want the people to kind of get to know you, know who Tarik is, So where did you grow up in Jamaica? Like, let's talk about that.
All right. Well, grew up in Kingston, Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
and as you said, I'm an actor, a writer, learning how to produce more. I also sing, and those are my passions, really. Also, food, the art, history, travel, anything thrill seeking. That's me.
Okay, that's good to know. So I guess all of these would influence you as an actor in some way, shape, or form. There are so many different acting techniques and so on. So I'm guessing you pull a lot from all these experiences. And speaking of experiences and pulling, from experiences in acting and acting modes or techniques, I know that you did go to New York Film Academy some years ago and studied there. I think you did your master's.
Yep, my
Your
master's.
master's. So, but before we get to LA, where did you start studying film, and did you even start studying film? Like, did you, or you just kind of, you're a YouTube, university student like myself?
Well, honestly, it was a mixture of both because I didn't actually study film per se. It was more so like TV production at NCU, where I did my bachelor's in mass communication specifically. But
Mm-hmm.
I did an emphasis in TV, and that, I was taught by many great people. The late great Michael Sharp, um, Dr. Everett Wells. He's somewhere in the States now. Big up yourself, Mr. Wells. And so many other teachers who taught me the ins and outs of production. But before that, from high school or even growing up, I was always watching movies and music videos, and I'm the person still to this day that loves watching behind the scenes more than the actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember those DVDs or those video cassettes that right after the movie, the second disc showed the behind the scenes featurette
Oh
for about an
yes.
hour and a half or 2 hours?
Oh
I
yes.
rinsed through all of those things, and when I couldn't find them, or when they weren't attached to the movie, I would find them on YouTube. And I would bring my entire family and say, all right, this is the movie that we all loved, but now I want you to see how the behind the scenes works, because I knew that I was interested in these things, that I loved them so much, and I was saying to myself silently, because Denny, I'm very, very shy. I would never say this to anybody. Um, I knew that I wanted to do this, but I just didn't know how to. And especially growing up in Jamaica, your view is very limited, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But I knew that I wanted to do this, so I would make sure that they watch the behind the scenes with me, so they know that it's actual work. You can't
Mm-hmm.
just get up and do these things. And then from there, um, I did my first film at NCU to do one of my courses,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a group work, but it ended up being solo work, as most group projects go. And I ended up writing and co-directing and producing that film, and that won me my first two film awards at
Mm-hmm.
NCU's Lignum Vitae Film Festival, and I won Best Script and Best Director. and that was like first writing a film script, and that was the first time I felt like I could actually do something with this. And then I did more films, submitted it to Lignum Vitae again, won three more awards for best script again, best silent film, and I think I won best director again. So that was on the production side. The acting side was really just me imitating whatever I saw on the TV. I didn't do any formal training until I joined the drama club in high school. But that was really a buck ups because I for some reason I was given a choice between choosing the music club or the drama club, and I liked both of them. And I just ended up doing both. I didn't really prepare much for the audition. I kind of just ad-libbed the whole thing, but then the teacher said
Natural
that
talent.
was yeah, well, and then she said, that was so great, and then I joined that. I really, really loved that experience. We went to JCDC, and I also did that with the music club. So I guess my music and my acting or drama skills were being honed from high school, but also music wise, I have to big up the church. Choirs, groups, solos, all the time. I wasn't the type of kid that had to sit at the back. I was always in the front because I just love it.
Well, that's good to hear. It is very cool that you had such a interesting background that really contributed to what you're doing now in the space, in the creative industry, as an actor, singer, and writer, and producer and director. You know, so with that said, so what would you say was like your biggest inspiration in acting?
Mm,
It could be a person, it could be a franchise, it could be, you know, a
yeah.
show.
Well, okay. So I need to give context because I grew up in a very Christian home. So what we could watch was protected. So
Okay.
my parents, still recognizing that my brother and I really love the arts, wouldn't wouldn't how can I say it? They tried to feed that as much as possible. So anything that was spiritual, that had music and film as a combination, they would give it to us. So things like Salty and Beginner's Bible, um, even listening to audio tapes, Adventures in Odyssey, Story Keepers, Greatest Adventures of the Bible, all of those things. But they also expose us to a lot of Disney films, a lot of DreamWorks films, and that just really made me like I'm a Disney fan. I am unashamedly so, and still to
Indeed.
this day, yes, still I don't care. I love it. Um, and in terms of acting, I would say if I can call out just one specific because there's so many, acting wise, it would have to be Johnny Depp when he played Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
I
Okay.
love that movie. I love that franchise. Well, the trilogy. Um, I think the first film to me is perfect. I have still the DVD with the double disc, so I'd watch, the movie and then behind the scenes, and I would pretend in my room to be Jack Sparrow. No one will ever see those things because it's not recorded. But I loved how he played that character because it was so different. It wasn't something that we had ever seen in a film before, and then as a boy, it's swashbuckling, it's action, it's adventure, and it was also comedic how he played that role. So that was one of my biggest inspirations. There's so many others, but that film I would definitely say was a huge inspiration.
Okay. That's good to hear. I know you talked about, school and learning film slash TV in a professional environment. And I said that I would return to LA. So talk to me a little bit about your experience at New York Film Academy. Um, you know, what were some of the highs and lows of that experience? I know that also you went to school and you were at school in LA during the pandemic. So I know that was a very unique experience. So you can talk to me a little bit, talk to me about that a little bit so that we
Yeah.
can understand what was that like to be there in LA pursuing your dreams. But then here comes this huge, you know, curveball of a pandemic.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact that I got to be an IFA student was a blessing because I never even considered that for myself. It was my very good friend Dominic who suggested I go to school in the States. I didn't think that was possible because one, school is expensive. Film school is expensive. We don't have the money for that. And I am one Jamaican in a sea of other Americans who have the same dream. How am I going to get in? But I took a leap of faith. I applied, I auditioned, and I got a scholarship to go, which is something that I'm still surprised to this day how that even happened. And the experience was amazing, the best experience of my entire life. Not only being there, but I realized now I was being a representative of my country and my culture, and also breaking stereotypes. Not intentionally, but I realized that that is what I was doing with every conversation and interaction that I had with someone who would hear me speak and then look at me and say, "But you don't look like a Jamaican." Um, Having to educate them and also educate myself on my own history, because sometimes, we don't know our own history as well. It was amazing just learning and being in a space where you could freely express what you wanted to do and no one criticized you. It felt like you could literally do anything and be somebody. A low would be, I guess, as well, because it was a high realizing that I was representing Jamaica because I was the only Jamaican at the time. And I did some research, found out that I was the first Jamaican to study my MFA in acting at the LA campus.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you. They told me that, so it's not me saying it. A low, I guess I would say that was also a low as well as a high, because I realized that I had to really tell them that Jamaicans speak English.
Oh wow.
We don't
Oh
all
wow.
think the same. Yeah,
Wow.
we don't all think the same. Fortunately, I was, placed with other students who are also international. So that also, widened even my understanding of other cultures. I was the only black male in my class. So that came with its, own situations. But
Right.
I didn't see it as an issue because I said, I'm just going to represent myself in the best way. And when the pandemic hit, because I graduated a year before, and I was on different sets, I was meeting different people, building my resume, and the greatest thing I did before the pandemic hit was being background in Insecure.
Okay.
That was the best experience of my entire life. It was 3 full nights of shooting, but I didn't care because it's shooting. Issa Rae was like eyes away from me. Everybody else attached to that show was just incredible. I'm seeing like cranes and how they use, you guys can say it, whatever the big light is they use to mimic the moonlight
The
was
condors
just,
and all that.
yes, that.
Yeah, man.
It was great. And then right after that, I was also trying to, get representation. And I had just met with a manager who saw my work and, said, he'd be interested in taking me on as a client. And then the pandemic hit, shut down everything. I really didn't know what to do because I have a master's in acting. What am I going to do with that in Jamaica? Really, I really didn't know what to do. And that's where I will publicly say, because I've told you in private, but I will always credit you, Mr. Fife, for
Me?
bringing me, yep, for bringing me into the
Oh,
space
boy.
here, because I
Mm,
didn't know anybody like that. We've been friends for over 10 years, so
yeah.
you have built your name, and you really helped me find my footing in the Jamaican space. So I give credit to you for that.
I receive.
Yeah,
But I'm
man.
I'm happy that, because it sounds as if that during this time, it was a bit daunting because you like for other people, many people they couldn't really see a way out of this whole situation. We everybody felt like we didn't know what's gonna happen next when outside was gonna open. And for you as a creative, as an actor,
Hmm.
a lot of production shut down, here
Everything shut down.
locally and in LA.
Yeah.
And so this led you to have to come back to Jamaica.
Hmm.
And in coming back to Jamaica, obviously we linked up and we had exchanges. You did a bit of networking,
Oh yeah.
and that led you to our collective, and which is the ANOUVUE Collective, which, if our viewers don't know, it is a group of people who really came together, like-minded people who have a similar vision of seeing the film industry in Jamaica develop and grow to its full potential. And so, being a part of that group, I I've been talking to them about you and saying, oh, hey, there's this guy named Tarik. He's good actor. He writes. So if you guys want to collaborate and bring him into the fold, it's a good idea. And Mark and everybody else, we just kind of had a meeting because we're very, you know, protective, if you will, of our space and energies and so on. And
There's
naturally, go again, Mark.
I'm saying there's reasons.
Yeah, man, there are reasons, which we will not disclose, but in general, you want to protect your space, you want to protect your energy and the people who we work with and so on. And so
For sure.
bringing other people into the collective was a we wanted to make sure that the people who are coming in can gel, And so we were after, vetting you and so on. You were welcome into the fold and thing. And so it has been beautiful. And so you were able to collab with us as a unit, and everybody worked on a couple projects so far. And so talk to me a little bit about your experience being in the collective, and specifically I want to know, what does ANOUVUE mean to you and the people who are present in the group as well?
Hmm. Well, I have to say, I love being around like-minded people, driven people, ambitious people, serious people, where the actions speak louder than words. Obviously there are different factors to why things happen and don't happen, but for me, being a part of this collective has been very fruitful, because not only do we do work, but we also develop and encourage each other. It's also a safe space where we can, discuss whatever it is, that we're going through if we want to. And it's nice when you have that group, or a group of people, because, you know, you're not just someone who can just push out work all the time. There's a life that happens, and different things happen, and we're able to support each other through that, and I appreciate it. Really, really do appreciate it, because the life of a creative isn't easy. you know um, Not just in Jamaica, but because we're living in Jamaica, we have our own unique set of circumstances, and we need each other. I've always said that it takes a team to get things done. It's never just one person. And this collective, this team, this group of people, this film family has been very productive, effective, and enriching to me. So I enjoy being a part of it very much.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that it has been a wonderful experience thus far. And so I want you to talk about obviously one of the projects that you have worked on, which is a short film that you came up with the concept, you came up with the script as well, and you proposed it to the group and specifically to Kevin, who you guys have seen on the podcast already. But talk to me a little bit about that film and what the process was like for you, and yeah, what it was like just working with the collective on that project.
I can remember when we filmed it, because we filmed it in one day, which is still surprising to a lot of people. But yes, we did it in one day, and I don't think I ever told this to you or anybody else, but I was extremely nervous on that day because I respect everybody in the collective. So the whole time I was thinking, I cannot mess this up. I can't be the reason why production just takes forever. I have to know all my lines. I have to be on it. I have to prove all of these things. Um, it was daunting, but a lot of it, I have to say, was really just myself putting pressure on myself, because no one in the group made me feel that way. It is just that I respect everyone in the group. Um, and getting it done was, honestly, it was amazing. I mean, how we just rallied together and got it done literally at the last minute. I wrote it and pitched it to Kevin, and I told him I wanted to put this out for Christmas, and he was like, "Oh, so for next Christmas?" I was like, "No, no, no, this Christmas." And he's like, "Okay," but then crazy meets crazy, crazy makes magic. So we rallied and we got the thing done, and it was great. I mean, from morning till late at night. There was no bad vibe. No one wanted to leave, even though we were tired. But it was a great collaborative process. I mean, it just how we got this done. You know, me going to the location, the Christmas place, and asking them. I have this concept. I didn't even have the script finished yet at the time. I said I just have this idea, and they said okay. So then there was pressure on me to finish the script, to then send it to Kevin for him to give his notes, and then for us to have our tech meeting, and then our table reads and rehearsals the day before, and then shooting the thing in one day to release it 7 days later. Um, don't follow that to anybody listening.
Yeah. So just so you know,
Maybe,
people,
yeah.
all of this from the time Tarik wrote the script, had the idea, pitched it to Kevin, to when it was done was a matter of about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it was about
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks that he pitched, wrote script, did our location scouts, talked to the actors who would have been the other actors who would have been involved. So Stephanie, Hazel Isle,
Noel,
Noel,
Noel Wright, Sharanda
Noel
Farrell.
Wright, Sharando.
Love them.
So all of these people, really came together in a very, very, very short space of time to really execute this vision. And I can't tell you enough how thankful I am for this project, because it really showed the value in community and collaboration, and how when people come together, how much further we can go as a unit in comparison to doing something alone.
Yeah.
So to anybody watching this, find a community, find yourself a community of people and creatives who are like-minded, who share similar visions, that you can collaborate with, because collaboration is the key to really reaching to the heights that you want to be at. You can't go alone. No man is an island.
That's right.
That was, to be honest, that was That was a Christmas miracle. That's what you call a Christmas
It
miracle.
really was. It really was a Christmas miracle, and
Yeah,
a lot
It
of people
was.
were blessed by
It
that film.
was.
To be
It
honest,
was.
that is true too. It touched a lot of people, a
Yeah.
lot.
And I
yeah.
didn't
Listen,
expect that
we
feedback
we
at
were
all.
we internally were like, bruv, you need to put this and this inside there. But at the same point, we're like, you know what? But no, Tarik was like this need to drop.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right. And then what's the timeline? A week. So we
Mm-hmm.
done that call with everybody. And
Yep.
then we didn't even set up so that all the shoot that could go, we set up all the post-production that could go. Because the post-production is the only thing that can get. We can shoot it, but it's like, how fast can we edit color and all
Mm-hmm.
that? So
A lot of sleepless nights, people.
that was definitely a miracle. We got it. Like
That was the
Captain
worst
Planet.
Christmas of my entire life.
Yo, yo, we got it like Captain Planet when everybody combined Optimus Prime. Yo,
Yep.
great
Yep.
thing.
It was literally the Avengers.
Yep.
The Avengers, bro.
Mm,
It works. Good job.
So
Yeah.
maybe and truly I shouldn't tell people not to do it because we did it and look what we came up with.
No, no,
So
no. Different
I
I
energy.
mean,
There's different energies.
true, true.
The
Yeah.
people that we had are well, I'm not there in Jamaica, but like my spirit dead, but the people that was around you guys,
yeah.
it's a total different energy. The people
Mm,
that give them energy, it was total different. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that can't happen for anyone, but that is if I'm using a proper word, a comprise or whatever, like a group that was a come together of Danny friends, your friends, Randy friends, everybody's friends, plus people in the collective. So that was a lot of energy together, and nobody
mm,
in no way. You even have actors in the background taking BTS. You know what I mean? What's
Yeah.
that girl's name? So that was a different thing. That was a miracle, and
so
we shall recreate it.
yeah, with more time. With
Yes.
more time the next time, for sure.
Yeah.
But Tyke, so it sounds like you have had a quite, an interesting journey from LA to Jamaica, back to Jamaica. So I want to know, since you are back home now and you've found success in this Christmas film that is called Time Heals, by the way, a Jamaican Christmas story. You can find it on YouTube if you want to watch that. What are some of the challenges that you're facing now as an actor living in Jamaica? Because I know that, yeah, man, yeah, man, I know that there are challenges, and this is a space where people can be their authentic selves, and we want people to know the truth. You know what I mean? So it yes, we collaborate and we create films, and there are opportunities here for actors. But what are some of the challenges that you are finding right now as a actor coming up in the space?
That's
We
one.
can't hear you, Anna.
um
The
that's
money sound, the money sound.
The money sound.
listen, it's challenging as a creative in general in Jamaica. Director, DP, editor, AC, you know, um, producers, especially if you're a budding person. Um, it's a lot. You really have to love this to stick to it because in the beginning, and even now, I would love to say, that I'm earning, enough that I can, be comfortable, especially because this is what I'm doing, full time. You often have to think, of other ways that you can earn some money, to what other ways you can stretch your creative energy, because there are different things, especially living in Jamaica. But I guess it's just a global thing, until you make it, you're gonna have to find ways that you can make yourself an income. Um, I'm blessed to where I have a supportive family, a community that is there for me, which is great. But not everyone has that opportunity. So there's that. There's also really proving yourself as capable. I know that that's something that I still feel. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Denny, I'm a highly ambitious person. And I still feel, even with the success of Time Heals, which is great, and I know that I had to do that in order to, you know, get out there more. But, it's the pressure now is what comes next.
Right.
What do you do that matches or exceeds that? You think about yourself as an actor. Where do you see yourself, in 5 years? What's your goal? How do you align with certain people? I have actors that I want to work with. I have directors that I want to work with, and they're not all in Jamaica. you know, how do you get to the next level? And it's something that I'm still figuring out. Things that I'm still trying to find the path forward. But one thing I do know is that I've told myself that this is what I want to do. I know this is what I want to do. No one can tell me otherwise. And I know that it's going to work out. I'm a very driven, passionate person. And I've been blessed, to be in the space enough to have met certain people, to have made certain connections. Connections that I would have never made some other way. I really don't know how else it would have worked. And it's things like that that encourage me along the way when things don't go how I want it to go. If I auditioned for a certain project, or I've written something and I say I want to shoot it and it doesn't come out in the time that I wanted to, matching with the plan that I had, you really have to rely on your faith, your convictions, your goals, and your community of people. Whether that's one person or 5 people, it doesn't matter. Um, you really just have to be driven to move forward in any industry, but specifically this one.
Yeah, it's very true. And you mentioned something interesting about, well, you mentioned that you want to work with people both locally and internationally. So my question to you then is, um, who are some of these people that you would love to work with in the near future?
Oh, the near future? Oh, okay.
Near and distant future, the
Okay.
future in general. Like, so,
Yeah.
if it's an actor, producer, a director, sometimes
Yeah.
people really want to work with some directors. So who are some of these people, both locally and internationally, who you would love to, do a production with?
Oh, all right. Well, let me start with locally because we always have a big up Jamaica.
Of
Always.
course.
Directors and the writer as well. I'd very much like to work with Storm Salto. I think what he's done for Jamaica is just incredible. And he's one of the people to always watch and be inspired by. Also, director and writer Sasaseo, love her. She's a genius. She's brilliant. What her and the Icon team have done with raw materials. Every Jamaican should go look that film up and what it's done. It's incredible. Also, oh man, they're just the thing is with Jamaica, you have so many creative people, and you want to do a project together, but the problem with getting things done is there's always a money issue. How can we put something out and get it out there, because you want to attract international people, but those are just like two of the many. Obviously, we've been working together, but you're also director DP, so I would very much like to work with Dennis if you'll hire me. um you know
Yeah, man, that is
Lecky
in the
is a
works, my
different,
people.
of course. Um and also Kevin Jackson again. He was a director for Time Heals. He's a brilliant writer and director. Love to continue the collaboration. Internationally, I would love to work with Ryan Coogler. I would love to work with Ryan Coogler. Also, Barry
Ryan, if you're
Jenkins.
watching.
You know, I'd also love to work with Barry Jenkins, Christopher Nolan, and I really like, specifically like for one film. I haven't watched all of his films, but I love this trilogy so much. Like Matt Reeves, because he did Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of
Okay.
the Apes with Andy Serkis, and what he did with Batman recently with Robert Pattinson. Love that film. I
Brilliant.
mean, there's so many more actors. Um, I'd love to work with. I find myself inspired by a lot of the actors that are in my age range right now. Also
Mm-hmm.
the veterans, but in within my age range, I'd love to work with Zendaya. Um, I love her story. Again, being a Disney fan, but how she's transitioned into an adult career. I really
Mm-hmm.
love how she's navigated the industry. Also, um, Damson Idris, and I'm not calling out his name because of the whole Aaron P. Aaron, that's Mufasa thing, but I am a fan of his dedication to his craft. And I've watched all of his films that I could find leading up to the latest, which is Mufasa. Um, yeah, there's so many. There's so many. I'm inspired by all of them. I want to meet all of them. I want to work with as many as I can because I yeah, I want to be the, can I say it now? Or are you gonna ask it? I don't know.
What you want to be? What?
I well, there hasn't been a Jamaican actor that has won an Oscar before.
Okay. All right.
So I would very much like to break that glass ceiling.
Okay.
And also, we've won multiple Grammys before, but I'd also love to do that as well. And I also want to win a Tony and an Emmy. So, in full thing, I want to be the first Jamaican that's an EGOT winner.
Okay, sir. I
So
see you.
that's me.
And
That's
we
me.
wish the best for you for sure. Nothing is impossible.
True.
There are so many Jamaicans taking up space in the creative industry, both locally and on the international scale. And so, you know, it's not impossible.
No.
It's really not impossible. And as long as you are putting in hard and good quality work, I don't see
Yes.
why this is not achievable. You're an
Can
incredible
I mention
actor.
another actor? Can I mention another
Sure.
actor? And he's also a producer. Rate him. Sterling K. Brown.
Okay.
That
Sir
that
Brown, we
man.
salute you.
Yes, that man is an incredible artist. He, for those of you who don't know, he came to Jamaica to be a part of the actors workshop that was put on by the incredible, also Jamaican actress I want to work with, Sandra Oakley.
Mm-hmm.
And he and his wonderful, wonderful wife came and were the special guests, and it was inspiring to finally see someone in person in an industry that you respect, and for him and his wife to come and just be so open and honest about their journey. That is a high that I will never get off of, because that was just amazing to me. So definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Absolutely. So seeing that you've mentioned some of these people, and we know that you're budding actor and stuff. One question that I really want to ask you is, seeing that you've had formal training, right, by going to NIFA, do you think that you have an advantage in the Jamaican film industry, film and TV industry?
I this is it's touchy. It's touchy because you don't need formal training to
Mm-hmm.
be a good actor, right? I needed it for my own reasons. I needed to go to actualize my dream. I needed to go because I found the space that I was in too limiting. I needed to expose myself to the possibilities. So, in truth, I am equipped with a lot of things that other Jamaican actors wouldn't initially, no. But what I learned is open to everyone. You know, if you just do your research. I'm not going to say I'm better than anybody. I will never say that. I am equipped with tools that I am more than willing to share to anybody who wants to know and really truly interested in learning and studying the craft. Because it is something really and truly that you have to study and you have to work on every day. Like you go to the gym, you work on your body and also your mental. You have to work on this craft. It's not just something that you can get up and say, you know, oh, I'm going to be an actor. Well, maybe you can, but you will probably only do, you know, certain things. You listen to the greats in this industry and they speak about the research and the time that they have taken to study their craft, how they improve themselves, how they try to come up um, with their own character backstory. You don't These things you don't know unless you're in a space that cultivates that. So yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say that I have an advantage, but I am going to say I've been equipped with tools that are at my disposal. So if I want to get the role,
Yeah.
I will do the necessary preparation to get it. But anyone can learn this, and you don't need to go to school for it.
Mm-hmm.
That disclaimer, you're not going to get me in no trouble.
But that's a very good answer, a very good response.
Let me, it's all right. I have a similar question. It may already kind of answer, but it's very similar. And mine is, since you went to New York Film
NFA.
Academy, you're alumni. My question was, since you have a master's in acting, it's almost like the same answer, but it's a little different. You're probably gonna get yourself in trouble with this answer. Does it affect the way you look at the actors in Jamaica? Because, you know what I mean, they're not trained. You know what I mean? Does it affect the way you look at them?
That's a good question. I'm going to say that a lot of Jamaican actors learn and hone their craft through theater. And there's a specific style of Jamaican acting, pantomime, you know, for those of you who don't know, that is very different from film acting. So to me, it's just a different style. You know, I have more experience in camera acting than stage, but I have done both, which is what, you know, the degree equipped me with, and I have both things that I can use at any point in time. With Jamaican actors, to I would say to them and to us, because I am a Jamaican actor as well. When you're acting on camera, it's a lot more subtle. You know, when you act on stage, it's very overt. You know, you're giving your body to the audience. So you have to cheat all of that and almost exaggerate, but still be authentic in your role, because the person at the front of the stage should be able to hear you well, and the person at the back of the stage should be able to hear you clearly. So you have to give and project a lot more. When you're on camera, it's more internal. What are your eyes saying? What are your expressions? What are you feeling? The camera can pick up all of that, from a wink to a smirk to a change in eye direction, which can change the entire expression of your face. So I would encourage all Jamaican actors, all actors really, to learn about studying. No, I'm sorry. I would encourage all theater actors to learn how to act for camera, because it's a lot more internal, whereas for the stage it's a lot more external.
So it's more personal when it comes on to film and TV shows versus being on the stage.
Yeah. It's a
So
lot more subtle. And also, I will say, you know, Viola Davis, the great Viola Davis, said that a lot of the great actors come from theater. So
True,
it's not
very true.
because you're a theater actor that means you can't be a screen actor. You just need to learn the difference. So that's all.
to the levels, like the tone, like to tone it down.
Yes.
Yeah, for screen
Yeah.
it's bigger and sticking on that in that same place. What you been in Jamaica now, and you were there while I was there. Well, I was there while you were there, and like I see a lot of things that can be developed and fixed. You know what I mean? But everything comes with funds and all of that, and people believing in the people, the country believing in the people and all of that. But what do you see that can be done to to develop our actors in Jamaica?
We definitely need a lot more training. Definitely need a lot more training, and training to, you know, like studying it, you know, learn about Sanford Meisner, learn about Stella Adler, learn about Stanislavski, learn about all of these different techniques that you can use. Again, you know, as I was saying, I have these tools at my disposal to really understand what it takes to not be a caricature but an actor. There's a difference, a strong difference, and you're not, you play a character, but you also bring aspects of yourself into the role to make it more authentic. Or sometimes you can play a character that's completely different from you. How do you disappear into a role? You know, there are actors that disappear into roles perfectly, and then there are others that you can see there are aspects of themselves that they mix with the character. And there's no better option, you know, than the other, as long as me as a viewer is engaged in the story. And I said, you know, you made me feel something.
Mm.
You know, so I definitely think we need a lot more training and spaces where we can just feel free to practice, because you get better the more you do it. It's not something that, like, you can't just do a class and write a paper and then say you're an actor. You have to do it. You have to be in front of the camera. You have to learn how to get comfortable in front of the camera, even if you yourself is a shy person, like myself. You know, I'm a very shy person. I will not get up and say, you know, I can do this. But when I'm playing a role, it's easier for me to navigate that space because it's not me, it's a character that I'm playing. And it's also my passion. So I can reduce my nerves to up how I will perform. And I can also use that as a technique as well. Because many people have told me that you didn't look nervous at all, and I am shaking. Like crazy, crazy shaking. But I know that because it's my passion, it's just something that I have to learn and get better at. So yeah, we definitely need more of that in Jamaica.
It's also our professionalism. You never know when we're scared if we're really good at what we do. You know what I mean? Because as Denny know, like once we start work, we click in and we are on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not gonna know we're scared. You'll just know when something look like it's not going correctly and we're trying to figure it out. But you won't see the scary part. You were like, you just, we never
Yeah.
show the face. We never show the face. The we have a whole podcast on that too. What scares you on set, but we have not gone to that yet. We have not recorded that yet. Since we're on the acting thing, I have a few acting questions for you. And dude, we're gonna we're gonna start irritating the actor now. We're gonna start questioning the actor now.
All right.
First of all, what's your favorite roles to play?
Um. Well, I would like to. I haven't played it yet. I want to play like the unassuming, you know, antagonist. Someone who you think, you know, is a good person, but is really someone that's, you know, pulling the strings and making things look bad. I kind of like to do that.
And like Joker.
Well, different takes on him. I will say, I do like being the person that people root for. That's nice.
The underdog.
You know, I like to be the person that people root for, but it would also be fun to explore the other side of that because as an actor, you're not supposed to judge whatever character you're playing.
Okay. Right now we're doing rapid fire because you know what I mean. We don't want to make this too long. You know what I mean. Until we have more people listening, then we can make it way longer. We're upon rapid fire, right? So my next thing is after that. I'm going to this. Are you looking for any rough roles, like gangster roles, like bad man thing? Something to take you out of the pretty boy box, because you are in that box. You are in that box. You're in the soft boy, pretty boy box. So it's like, are you looking for those roles?
Am I looking for it? No. Am I creating something that would eventually navigate into tougher roles? Yes. I'll answer that.
You make that fast and snappy. You know what?
There you go.
On that one there. Okay.
Have you ever had to turn?
It's timing.
It's timing.
Have you ever had to turn down a role?
Yes.
And that's my next question. On top, to piggyback on that, it's like what Dennis said, you have to turn down a role, but is your choice of role dependent on because you're religious? Does that affect your choice in roles?
To be honest with you, and to answer that in the quickest way possible, it's something that I'm still learning how to navigate, because there are things that I want to explore as a creative, but there's also the aspect of you want to be a good representation for people to follow, and I don't want to be ashamed of something that I'd done in the past, especially professionally, because those things follow you. So I'm still navigating it.
Okay. I want to know, Tarik, have you, since being back for so many years since Nightfall, have you seen any opportunities or have you seen an increase in opportunities for actors in Jamaica?
Yes, and I have to give a lot of credit within my own knowledge to the Bob Marley movie. I think the Bob Marley movie opened a lot of people to the possibility of talent, both behind the camera and on camera, being in Jamaica. And I will add to that because of that, we need to be putting out our own work more, because we don't have the infrastructure that America or the UK has in terms of unions or getting, as many agents or managers. We have to be showing up and showing out for them to see us.
Indeed. I agree. And there were so many other TV shows and films,
Oh yes,
including the Bob Marley, so like Black Cake, and what was the other one the other day? Get Millie Black. There's another one that's coming now, and I'm pretty sure that there are many more that are in the works to come to Jamaica. So I've definitely seen an uptick in opportunities for local actors.
Absolutely. And also there are commercials too. There are also commercials that you can audition for. So it's not just, like these big studio films, there are also students who are putting out films. Students at NCU, Karimak, UTech, you can practice, in your acting capacity, auditioning for those films and playing those roles. So you can build a resume.
Okay. Quick question. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever got as an actor?
It's something I'm still struggling with, but I know it's the best advice I've ever received. And it was by my teacher and several other persons, and it just irritates me. But it is, you are enough.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You are enough.
That's basically telling you to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a deep one right there.
Yeah,
yes,
You know, it's not about saying you don't have to do. You have to go out of bounds just saying, find it in yourself. You know, you
Mhm.
don't need to if you do too much to try to be who you want to be, because maybe it's already there. That's
Yeah, because being a creative has so many different challenges, and it can really take a blow to your confidence.
Oh yes.
Because, and this was something I wanted to ask you, like, have you ever been rejected? And like, I already know the answer to this, but for the people who don't know, have you ever been rejected? Whether it's a role or you put together ideas already for films that you want to shoot, and so have you ever done that and made a proposal to somebody, a director or whatever, a company, and been rejected? And you know how does that make you feel, and what does that do to you as an actor? And how do you get over those moments as well? Because we want to make sure that we, as much as the negative is there, we want to make sure that you know people are seeing how you overcame these challenges as well.
Yeah. I don't know why you're asking a question they already know the answer to, but
I know, but or yes, don't know.
yes, yeah. It's like just as you're asking it is like um,
Mm.
but there are many ideas that I have proposed, many things that I've auditioned for that I didn't get a yes on, and it does affect you deeply because for someone like me, and I'm sure there are many other creatives that feel that way, your work is an extension of you. So if you get rejected, you feel that they are saying no to you,
Mhm.
which can go into, if you allow it, you feel that you're not the right person for it. Or are you talented enough? Are you capable enough? I'm an actor, so you have to consider aesthetics. Do you have the right look? Are you good looking enough? Do you fit this role? Do you have, all of these certain things that a particular person or an entity might be looking for? And if you don't fit one thing or everything, you feel that you have to change yourself, you feel that you have to become a different person altogether, or you just don't feel that you are capable or talented enough. But how I have and still am navigating it is something that I don't know if I heard it from someone or it's just something that I started to say. And it is this: your ambition and your passion will always exceed your fear. So
That's a bar
you
right there.
so you if I borrowed it from someone, I'm sorry, but it's just great.
Yeah.
It's something that I am trying to live by, and
Mhm.
especially because I know that I am passionate and very, very driven about this. I know that it is going to happen. How or when, it would be nice if it would happen a lot sooner. But you can't, be the master of time. You just
Mhm.
have to prepare and be ready so you don't have to get ready when the opportunity comes. And
Absolutely.
you do all the work that you have to do in preparation for that moment. Because once the opportunity comes, they're not going to wait on you to get ready. This time that everyone has now, hone your skills, do as much reading as you can, watch those movies like I did, watch the behind the scenes, act, print out a scene or copy a scene that you saw in one of your favorite movies or TV shows and practice by doing that. um, just
Could
learn
even
how
shoot that.
to, could even shoot it, it could be, and then just post it. You never
Mhm.
know who's watching, you never know what can come from that. But
Because you're sorry to cut you, but really and truly for actors and just filmmakers in general, what gets you in the door is portfolio.
yep.
So if you don't work, if you don't do your own work, just like what you have done, if you don't come up with your own ideas, link up somebody and say, hey, I'm interested to shoot in this. Would you, be up to work and collaborate?
Yeah.
Then when an opportunity comes, well, first of all, you need to work for the opportunity to come. So in preparing for those things, you have to do the work. You have to have the material ready so that when somebody sees something on YouTube that you have acted in and say, hey, we want to consider you for this role or whatever because we've seen this one film. Do you have any other slate of films that you've acted in? You can say, yes, I have
Mhm.
5, 6, 8 more short films that I have acted in and that you can see my range.
Yeah.
And
It's a very practical industry. I can't say to you that I'm an actor and you believe it. I have to show it to you. You have to see
Indeed.
my work. Same
so
as with you as a DP director. You have to see everyone's work.
I had some questions on that too, because we know in our industry we don't have, like, we can't get the work without showing we can do the work, which is like a catch-22. So I was gonna ask you, like, is that how you drop it? Like, was writing a thing that you were already doing, or you did it because like you had the skill to do it, or you did it because it was a necessity of having things to show? Because
Um,
like actors here in LA, they write and create stuff to
yeah.
basically create a reel for themselves to show.
Well, I started writing in my bachelor's at NCU. I knew I always liked telling stories, and I'm someone that, in addition to watching behind the scenes, I also find the scripts for them. So I read movie scripts all the time. So that became something that I just said, why not just try it? If it's
That's a
bad, it's
major key,
bad.
by the way.
What?
That's a major key. Like, if you want to act, you should research scripts and read
Oh
them.
yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. 100%. Um, and I said, if the script is bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. It's just school. The most I can do is fail me. So I
That's
just
the
I
biggest
just
thing. That's
That's
the
just, it's just
yeah,
a failure. It's just a
yeah, of
test.
course. No problem at all. So I just tried it, and then I found out that I liked to do it. I kept doing it, and I was still writing different things even before Time Heals. But Time Heals specifically was written for multiple reasons, but mainly I wasn't finding anything in Jamaica that I felt would really push, not just myself, but all of us, because I had joined the collective at this time. I wanted to put something out to really be a gift to everyone. So it was a challenge, and I said, let's just try it, and we did it. So it gets better the more you do it.
So, like, me, I know about Danny because Danny used ChatGPT to write. But yeah, no,
Sir, I asked ChatGPT to analyze,
analyze the script.
not
To
to
analyze, then
write
it
per
writes, then
se.
it writes.
So what I'm
I
getting,
mean, I don't really write, but yeah,
what I'm getting,
I'm a collaborator. I will ask
Yeah.
a writer to write. I will have an idea, and so I'll come to you, and I'll
Yeah.
say, hey, I have this idea. Would you be willing to work with me on creating a script for this idea? So people, don't be afraid. If you have an idea and have a friend who writes script, approach them.
Ask. Yep.
so
Yep.
so what the question is, like me, like if you have seen Wrath, the idea that I had for Wrath was a total different thing. And it's
Mm-hmm.
me taking a shower or taking a drive. It came to me in the shower actually,
Mm-hmm.
right? But taking a drive or just like having a conversation with someone and it pop up.
Yeah.
That's usually that's how my brain get activated and get ideas and stuff, and I save it down. Like, what's your technique or procedure though when to get ideas or when you get ideas or so on?
Honestly, ideas come at the most random times. Just like you, they come in the shower, they come when I drive in, come when I listen to music or watching another movie. But something that am I'm making a discipline is once the idea comes, try to flesh it out as much as you can, as early as you can, so you don't lose it. So that I would say, would I call it a technique or a discipline? But I just try to flesh it out as best as I can, as early as I can, so I don't lose it.
All right.
Okay.
Tarik, grilling time now, right? This is the hard questions. Are we're gonna roll out on the hard questions. So you can't, this is not drink champs, you can't take a shot. if you don't want to answer the question, you know what I mean? My first question is this. Like, what did you have to do to get into the collective?
Give a blood sample. Yep.
And firstborn?
They're strict people. They're very strict. They're strict.
All right. Okay. So, all right, let me talk about that first of all. So we had an incident, right? Denny, very aware, and you've been on the radar, see, because Denny has already did already put you out there and say, you know, like you should bring in this guy, right? So cool, but that was around the time when the incident happened. But I met you at Shotlist.
Mm-hmm.
When I met you at Shotlist, I said, okay, cool. But you know, oh, I move like a ninja. So most of the time I'm just
Yes.
a
Yes.
pre. I'm just I say, cool. All right. Understood. You know, you just a pre, and then eventually they must say, yo, like if we bring in Tarik now, I'm like, all right, I think I've done enough, you know, research.
Big up my brother Denny. Denny looks out for me.
And not
Good.
him alone. I Mrs. 5 too. Let's not mess up the missus.
The missus.
Mrs.
Cannot.
5 too.
Oh,
You know what I
oh
mean?
gosh.
And
Those two.
and listen, it's all about energy and all of that, you know what I mean? And you came in and I mean you did your thing like immediately. Time heals. So you never tarry, which is great, you know what I mean? And thanks to Denny and Mrs. 5, like
Yep.
it's a good look. It's a good look, you know what I mean? But you know you've been on the radar and we are pre you from how long where I say, hey, the boy there, Tarik, the boy there. But then again, I never knew you. You see me say? As a matter of fact, we probably spoke more since I've been out of the country than when I was in the country. You see me say? So I'm very happy you're here with us. You see me say? And I mean you appreciate it because you appreciate it, which is, you know, which is good. And my last one towards the collective question is because you answered the first one already. How did you hear? No. How did you hear about us actually?
That one right there. Denny.
Him?
Again. That is my plug. Then is my plug.
Then he's a plug?
Then is my plug to everything.
Okay.
Him probably even have a plug to Ryan Coogler and don't tell me nothing. I'll know. You know. So
you know, I'll talk
You
later.
never know, probably in brother. Probably in brother.
You know.
So my next thing is how has the collective been to you so far? And I think you answered this before initially.
I did.
Yeah.
Initially, but just go over that one more. Not over the whole thing. Just say like you know, all the energy. How is it?
Oh, guys,
and don't be nice, you know, because if any bad people, assholes or anything inside, just call them name like me. Just say Lecky or so. You see me say, you know, I can be very, you know, aggressive. So you know, just say it.
All right. Well, in that case, guys, ANOUVUE is extremely intimidating. You feel like crap every single meeting.
To be honest, it is. To be honest, it is, because we have a lot of good people in this place, in this space.
It's true.
So,
it's
sorry,
true.
continue.
It's true.
Sorry.
It's true. There are a lot of good people in ANOUVUE, and it's an honor. It's a privilege to be a part of the collective. What it makes me feel is, again, it's also, you know, adding up to me feeling the need to prove myself, firstly to myself, and you know everything else. But you want to be proud of whoever you're attached to. So in this industry where your character speaks for itself, as much or even more than your work does, ANOUVUE has been a space where it is like you have to have yourself together, because you know it, as encouraging as it is, it's also no joke. You know, it's a space that we really want to build And you can't just be talking about things, you have to do the work as well. So it's encouraging and challenging as well.
Yeah, man. It's been a good one. Tarik, thank you so much. I think my last question to you is what's one lesson, from your journey that every aspiring actor, or anybody who is chasing a dream right now, would like to hear?
One lesson.
Or, what would your final words be to anybody who is chasing a dream right now, who is like you know what I mean, or even starting out, because you're along your journey right now, but what's something that you would want to say to somebody who is either starting out or along their journey as well?
The impossible is possible with hard work and dedication and ambition, because nothing achievable comes easy. If it was, a lot more people would get it. So what will make you stand out from others is your passion, your discipline, and your dedication. So be that person.
Yeah. So thank you, viewers, for watching today's episode with none other than Tarik Alexander. It was a pleasure hosting you guys, and I hope that today was an impactful one for you and that you'll take something away from this episode. And let us know in the comments if you had learned something or something that stuck with you from this episode. We're looking forward to hearing from you guys, and we really want to connect with you guys. And so let us know where you're from. And we appreciate you watching this lengthy podcast, but very interesting and very intriguing. And Tarik has a wonderful story. So we thank you so much for participating and listening. And we will see you in the next one. That is a wrap.
Thank you for listening to the A New View podcast. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want more information on today's episode, check the show notes below if you are on a podcast platform, or the description if you are on YouTube. See you next episode.